But when the hour of the divine draws near, the mighty mother shall take birth in time, and God be born into the human clay in forms made ready by your human lives.
This is the miraculous origin, no? The miraculous origin refers to the coming of the Superman.
Yeah, so he is driving towards that. Yes. But for the Superman or intermediate being or the Shrome to arrive, she will have to take many births.
She will come again and again.
Again, in forms made ready by your human lives.
So mother has to come again.
Yeah, she has to carry on this particular work, you see. Yeah. But she, no, a certain thing has been done. What was required, what has to be done. Now it is time she had to work out certain things in between. When they are ready, she will come, take them forward.
She will come into this human life.
Yeah, she has, in many human lives, in forms made ready by your human lives.
That means she is coming as a mother, or she is coming portioned in many.
For whatever work is to be done at that time, it is for that purpose she will come.
Yeah, but she will come again as mother?
Yes, of course. But not necessarily in the same manner. Now this has to be got done, and she will come only for that particular purpose. She will come for that particular purpose. She will come again for that particular purpose. Till the forms are made ready.
So how can we find her?
We don't know what she will do. We have to do our own work.
But you see here when he says the miraculous origin, this will go on for many centuries now. The miraculous origin, the few shall live so, but the few shall understand what's going on. But it will go on for many lives.
See, basically, what is required is the inner personality of the Superman has to be first built. See, when man arrives, it means that inside, in the subliminal, the mental Purusha, his character, his mental being, it is that which is carried out and built up in the subliminal. Then he manifests, all the organs come out. In the same manner, first within, whatever is required for that to happen has to be built within. And for that, the mother says it may take 300 years, it may take 500 years, you see, all that thing. For that, many lives are a part of that game. The inner universe, the psychic being has to, for its expression, make instruments ready within, in the subliminal. When they are ready, then it comes out, and manifests as a full being. Is a full being. So that is the process. See, I will not say that mother has failed. That is the wrong way of looking at things. It's not that thing at all. Whatever was required to be done at this particular point of time has been done. Now, the inner being has to be built around the psychic so that the supramental faculties find their centers of action within us. When they are ready, then the full manifestation takes place. Then only full manifestation. Then shall the truth supreme be given to men. Now, forms made ready by your human lives. In forms made ready by your human lives. Then shall the truth supreme be given. I sent you these notes, but we'll quickly see a couple of them in the context. See, mother has said why she has to really come again. Indirectly, she has hinted how her coming is necessary again and again. She has kind of told in her talk. This morning, for 2 hours, I had what I believe to be really the most wonderful experience in my life from the point of view of knowledge vision. And it was so total, from the most essential perception of that which is beyond the creation down to the perception of the body's cells from high to low. And in every plane, the vision of the creation. It went on for 2 hours. I walked about, had my wash. It didn't matter in the least. On the contrary, there was added to that the knowledge of how the body can act without disturbing the state of consciousness. Afterwards, there was slight flagging. Now that has to go away. For that again a preparation is required. I can't say the memory, but all the complaint, the same thing as the balcony of Darshan Dev, the human attitude, etc., etc. Then it was as if the body were asking, what attitude? What attitude should I have? What should I do? Because there was the vision of life, death, of all circumstances. Everything was there, the full knowledge of everything. Oh, the whole part about death was very, very interesting, and how mankind has tried to understand how there have all kinds of solutions, partial attitudes, and all of it was part of the whole. Now it is that work which he has to carry on further. You see. So the conclusion, oh, all the different intellectual and even spiritual attitudes of mankind, there aren't big differences. Whether they are intellectual or spiritual, there aren't big differences, she says. The spiritual boils down to the whole attempt at finding the divine again by annulling the creation. By annulling the creation. That is the spiritual. That's what has been regarded as spiritual life. To annul the creation in order to find the divine again, and then now, the vision of now. We are obviously drawing nearer to the moment of possibility. We are drawing to the moment of possibility. That is clear. It is a question of time. It is a question of time. Of course, question of time, which she says, she has to do it. She has to carry out the work in time. Your work in time. It can't be the human scale, but we are on the borderline. Borderline. So by human life, she has to go further up. And as I said, the body asked, oh, it had such a wonderful moment, a few minutes, when it knew how it ought to be. It was magnificent. Then experience came. Till then, it was inexpressible. It was lived, it was living consciousness, but the mind had become very quiet, so it was inexpressible, etc. The last experience is like a purge of all vibrations that are false vibrations, that aren't the pure and simple response to the supreme influence. Then the aspiration, then with an aspiration or a decision, almost a prayer for purification coming from the body, something happens which naturally upsets the balance. The imbalance in turn brings about a general discomfort. The form discomfort takes is habitually the same, etc. etc. That created a sort of conflict. The consciousness remained very clear. The consciousness of the body remained very clear, very quiet, perfectly trusting. For 2 hours I was able to follow the process until I felt, or rather was told sufficiently clearly, that the Lord wanted my body to be completely immobile for a while so that He might complete His work. I saw the work that was being done, a work that cannot be done if you go on moving about. I saw the work. It took nearly half an hour. In half an hour it was over, which means there is a fact I cannot doubt, even if all the surrounding thoughts and forces contradicted. I cannot doubt that the consciousness is increasingly more and more the consciousness in the body. It is growing more and more precise, luminous, exact, quiet, very peaceful in the body, very conscious of a tremendous battle against millennial habits, When it was over, I saw that even physically bodily there is a strength. The result is an increased strength, a very clearly increased strength. But it's all going on, so she has to come again and again. Now there's a great battle against all the ideas and habits, the sensation, the possibilities, everything concerning death. Death, not death in the sense of the consciousness departing. No, what the cells must feel, and all the possibilities are present to be with that consciousness. When the heart stops beating and is understood that according to human ignorance you are dead, how does the force that groups all those cells together abdicate its will to uphold them together? Naturally, I was told right away by that force, that consciousness which holds everything together in really subconscious cells, etc. So she says, its own will ultimately. So now it is that work which is going on here. Now she says, when the heart stops beating and is understood that according to the human ignorance, you are dead. We have these things, 112.52, what Narada said in the book of Veda.
No breathing, no breathe.
She was written in 1940, 48, 49, 49. A day may come when she must stand, a day may come when she must stand unheld on the dangerous brink of the world's doom and hers. Carrying the world's future on her lonely breast, she must cross alone a perilous bridge in time and reach an apex of world destiny where all is won or all is lost for man. In the tremendous silence, lone and lost, of a deciding hour in the world's fate, in her soul's climbing beyond mortal time, when she stands soul with death or soul with God, you see, she's standing with soul with God, apart upon a silent, desperate brink, alone with the self and death and destiny, as on a verge between time and timelessness, when being must end or life rebuild its base, alone she must conquer or alone must fall. No human aid, etc., etc. And then he says, even if he seems to leave her, see, even the Supreme himself may leave her, seems to leave her to her lone strength, even though all falters and falls and sees an end, and heart fails, and only are death and night. Exactly, heart fails, and only are death and night. God given, her strength can battle against doom. That is what he said, my strength is with you, she is telling her. Even on a brink where death alone seems close, and no human strength can hinder or can help. So, that is the corroboration of when the hour of the divine draws near, the mighty mother shall take birth in time, and God be born into the human clay in forms made ready by your human lives. When she does all that, then shall the truth supreme be given to men. Then shall the truth supreme be given to men. There is a being beyond the being of mind, an immeasurable cast into many forms, a miracle of the multitudinous one. There is a consciousness mind cannot turn, its speech cannot utter, nor its thought reveal. It has no home on earth, no center in man. That's the whole point. It has no home. There is no center. That center has to be built in the inner being of man, near the soul. You see. That has to be built. It has no home on earth, no center in man, yet is the source of all things, and thought and done, the fount of the creation and its works. It is the originator of all truth here, the sonor of mind's fragmentary rain. Infinity is heaven that spilled the rain of God, the immense that calls on man's expansion, the wide aim that justifies his narrow attempt, a channel for the little he takes of it. It is the originator. There is no sense, see, there is no center, there is no man. Yet it is the originator. It has no home on earth. It stands for its speech, etc., all that. It is the originator of all truth. Now this word originator.
Origin, no?
It is not origin, it is originator.
What is the difference?
Yeah. One who kind of makes things happen in the originator. It's a very beautiful word. Well, actually, I think this has a connection with the originaire in French. In French, originaire. Shibani is using here a French word. The verb originaire in French is used to determine the source, the roots, the place of birth or origin of things or person. Originaire. So it is basically the French word which is used here. It is the originaire of all truth, the root, the source of things from which it happens. It is not the originator who makes things begin. It is the originaire of all truth here, the source, the root, which determines the whole growth of the person. It is the originaire of all truth here, the sonor of mind's fragmentary rays. Infinity is heaven that spilled the rain of God, the man that calls to man to expand his spirit, the wide aim that justifies his narrow attempt, a channel for the little he takes of play. Some shall be made a glory receptacles. Some and vehicles to the eternal's luminous power. These are the high forerunners. See, he is describing a some and few, the whole narration is there. These are the high forerunners, the heads of time, the great deliverers of earthbound mind, the high transfigurers of human clay, the firstborn of a new supernal race. So that is the beginning of a new race with these people, you see. The incarnate dual power shall open God's door, eternal supermind, touch earthly time. The incarnate dual power. Now, the incarnate dual power again, that thing, Satyavan and Savitri, shall open God's door. So, all that thing is going to happen because of them. Lift up earth to God, bring God down upon earth.
But that happened 1956, no?
Eternal supermind, touch up.
That did already, 1956,
Yeah.
no? That's eternal supermind, that is
Yeah, now supermind touch earthly time. Now he says the incarnate dual power shall open God's door. Okay, now the shall open is futuristic here, but it has happened now. The door has been smashed. I took a golden hammer and in one single stroke smashed the door and it broke into pieces. And supermind touched, not touched, touched earthly time.
It's already happened.
Touched, yeah. So this was written in 49, but it has happened now. Within 6 years. Within 6 years. But he has described the entire sequence of how it is going to happen.
He saw it.
He is going to,
He saw it.
yeah. He has described the entire sequence how it is going to happen, you see.